Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the AVS show, coming to you straight from New York City. Thank you once again for tuning into our channel. Please go ahead and subscribe, and after the show, go on Instagram and follow us at the AVS show. Welcome to the month of December. Happy holidays!
Feliz Navidad! Hey.
As you can see, we are already in the holidays spirit.
Yes.
Yes. How's already feeling?
Where's my present, Charlie?
Oh, it's somewhere, but I can't show you
I
right
want
now
that
because you're on
cream
TV.
that you were talking about. What's that
I'll
cream right
show
there?
it to you later.
Oh.
How about that?
Hey.
All right, so let's dig into today's topics, okay? I don't know if you guys heard this, but there's issues going on in Nigeria. All right.
Oh, you know what? Why you looked at us though?
So Dady Freeze calls out a pastor for building the largest temple in the world in Abuja. Okay,
I don't know if the largest temple in the world.
In the world, yes.
So the largest temple in the world is in Abuja.
They have the largest church, but this is the temple. I don't know what the difference is, but I think the largest auditorium.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, so Dady Freeze is one of the most popular personalities in Nigeria.
I follow
He's
him.
a light-skinned guy. You follow him?
I follow him. He's one of his
Okay, well,
big
listen
fans.
up then. He's known for being vocal,
Absolutely.
politics, when it comes to politics, religion, everything, social issues. And he called out a pastor because they are building this largest temple, I know, in Abuja. So the pastor heard it and he wasn't pleased about it. So he clapped back at him. So basically, Dady Freeze said that it's a waste of building, it's hypocritical,
Absolutely.
and he's not here for it. So the pastor said, are you ready for this?
You gotta hear this
is some
nonsense.
big grammar. He said, I heard some highly irrelevant, insignificant, infinitesimal, microscopic piece of material that are only relevant for census purposes, who only hang on the internet to talk against people.
Oh.
They have not achieved anything and will never achieve anything for life.
What?
So basically, he came for Dady Freeze for criticizing him for building the largest temple in Abuja.
Yes.
Whose side are you on?
Dady Freeze, of course.
Why?
Because Dady Freeze continues to shine a light on them. Your participants in your church cannot really afford to be given all these tithes for you to be living lavish lifestyles. Don't think there's just this temple that's there. This man probably has private jets. He has cars. He has mansions. He has women. You know, all of that. So you're being a hypocrite if you're collecting all this money from your participants for you to do things that are irrelevant. What does a church being bigger, how is that going to get you closer to the Lord? Because God is going to meet you wherever you're at. But you're building these huge ass places that's going to cost money, take money from your congregation. How about you use that money and give everybody for Christmas so they could pay for their hospital bills, take care of school fees, take care of every other thing instead of you worrying about building a big church. How many churches are in Africa compared to factories and industries? How many? Every time you turn around the corner,
But
is a
whose
church.
responsibility is it to build the factories? It's not the pastor's
It's not the
responsibility.
It's not, but the pastor can create infrastructure. There's churches that have created working situations where you can work within the church. You can do different kind of work. They've created those kind of things so they can create like livelihood, because a church already is a money making machine.
Okay, so the pastor, right? In his defense, he said that the church, that dome that was built, is to house over 100,000 people.
Seats.
And that you build, like God blesses you based on what you have. So he built it for the sake of harvest. That in the case that when you pray to God and God wants to bless you, he can fill it to the magnitude of, space that he
with
has.
corn.
Number one. Number two, he says that, the church would provide jobs. That the Winners Chapel, or is it Winners?
Whatever.
One of those big churches offers over 26,000 members jobs, and that his church is going to do the same. This is why I now have a problem with it. You're saying you want to create jobs. If you really wanted to create jobs, the money that you spent in building that dome that serves the purpose of just service, you can use that money to create those factories and industries that would create more jobs than 26,000 jobs for people to actually go to and work. If that is your excuse, and then harvest, what are we in the time of old? Is this Job's era? Harvest,
The flood is coming.
there's going to be
They're
quail
Christian
and
boats.
manna falling inside the church or what? Come on, let's be realistic with
Our
things.
pastors in Africa are so obsessed with mega church. They want to be
The bigger
They
church.
want to have the biggest church. But the Westerners that introduced the Bible and Christians to us, you know, some of them have this small church. It's not about quantity, it's about quality.
Boom.
What are you preaching to these people? And you have this big old temple in the middle of Abuja. What do you have security?
Eh.
Do you have because this past week I saw
at the
something
lights.
burning in Nigeria, the airport,
Yes.
and there was
At
no.
Abuja.
It
At
was in
Abuja.
Abuja.
Yeah.
There was
A
no
car on
fire
fire.
people to quench it. It's like
Imagine that.
you are just doing this for the name of it.
That's it.
That's it. Priorities. It's messed up. Are you providing education, healthcare? Let's look at some of those things first. Winning souls for Christ is great. It's great. If that's what you believe in, it's great. But also healthcare is also important as well. Education is also important as well. And I feel like you are a leader in the community. Think about stuff like that as well. But this is just too
You're
much.
right. Absolutely, you're right. All I have to say is that, first of all, the response he gave to Daddy Freeze just shows that he has a very myopic sense of
Very,
reasoning.
very shady.
Because if you are a man of God and you are a real pastor, that's not the kind of response you give to somebody who is coming against you. The kingdom of God suffered violence.
Hey.
That's what
Violence
we
taken
say,
by
right?
force,
So
yes.
if you are a prophet and people are attacking you, you're supposed to treat it like a prophet. But in fairness to him, he said in creating this church, while they were building this church, at least 10 to 15,000 youths had money in their pockets. At least 10 to 15,000 youths were able to fend for their family because they used the youths of the church to build the church and they paid them for their job. So that is something.
So Ronald,
Don't
if the
forget-
church is built,
The
what
parents
happens
give
next?
The tithe.
Let's look at the size of the church. The church is the biggest, fine, but the church still is full to the brim, which means that the people actually needed a place of worship as big as that. He's a pastor. He's a man of God. His goal is to build the biggest temple. Leave that for him. The government people that are supposed to build the infrastructures, you don't expect the pastor to use his money to build, for example, what will I say? Any factory that has nothing to do with him, that is not part of his goal or part of his dream, but he can only empower the people. You can come to him with ideas, you can come to him with help. Perhaps they build schools, perhaps they're sending people to school. My only problem with all these pastors is that their schools are so expensive that even the common man and the people attending their church cannot afford it. But don't come for a man of God when he's building a house of God. It's his own
This can never
vision.
happen in
How many
Rwanda.
churches
Remember
are we going to have in Nigeria?
As
How
many
many
as they can
churches?
build.
Let me
How
tell
many
you.
churches? Do you know we don't even have electricity to feed Nigeria? That church is going to take all of our electricity.
But that's not
oh.
his
On my
problem.
street
That's
in
not his personal
Lagos,
problem.
there
guys
are
remember-
7 churches on my streets alone.
That's small.
Only
In
street.
Lagos, 7. Before
Wanna
you get
try,
from here
sir?
to the main junction, that's 7. Now you're not counting from to the extension of my street. I don't even know how many is on that side.
Only 7.
In Lagos.
Do you guys remember what happened in
How about-
Rwanda with the
Close
president
churches, I love
when
that. Yeah,
he shut down most of the
Shut
church?
it.
You
Yeah.
guys need Paul Kagame in Nigeria right
Yes,
now, because this
please.
would not happen in Rwanda. That Fritz also made a point that is really, really important. He said Walmart pays 2 million salaries a month. Volkswagen pays over 500,000 salary. Singapore, that is only 3 years older than Nigeria, has the world's largest ship building factories. He's making a good point as to we should invest in other things as well.
Absolutely.
Yes, you mentioned the fact that people got paid while building this church. After that, what are they going to do?
Right.
Yes.
Well,
The
I
church
don't
has
know.
already
I'm
been
just
built. What
saying.
else?
I'm not
So
on
what-
his side. I'm just trying to come from the other side. The
Well,
other side
then
of the
I'm
coin.
giving you reasons as to your other side is wrong.
Daddy,
because,
please.
you know, teach them skills. There's a saying that if you teach a man,
To fish, she fishes for life.
Yeah,
so let's think about that as
Daddy
well.
Freeze drew awareness to the fact that there are other countries that are looking towards enlarging their industry in the industrial sector so that they can produce more and even export.
Exactly.
Like I think is it Uganda or is it Kenya? One of these countries is planning to build what they call it factories to manufacture process mangoes
Yeah.
and export. Which is something that these are things that we have,
Simplistic
but
things
nobody
that
is
we
trying
can
to
do.
do that. They want to keep opening churches because that's
And lining
money
pockets.
making. They can line their pockets properly. Untaxed
Line
lining
them.
too, because church money is not taxed. So they will
That's
line. They
non-profits.
use it to wash money too, money laundering, a lot of things going on. People just use church to cover face.
That's
but
it.
what is going on underneath there? Ask this man how he got the money to build this big dome. Let's
Listen,
start from
if
there.
you're a member of this church,
Yeah.
comment below, let us know
Yes.
how the church is going. We have to move on to the next topic. Miss Spitfire,
Yes. So this happened in Uganda. In Uganda, an overcrowded party boat sunk and killed over 30 people. This is happening just like about a month or 2 months after 200 people died in Tanzania for the same reason.
Wow.
Yep. So apparently they put vessels on the Lake Victoria without really inspecting them. They don't inspect them. They don't have them registered. There is nothing of that nature going on. So you just put a ship on the water, load it with people, party time, and you move. A lot of the ships are always overcrowded. They overload the ships. They don't even make use of the life jacket. If you look at the picture, you see that nobody's wearing a life jacket on there. They're just there.
I see the suya. I see the suya is being roasted.
That's the one you see. They share suya. Oh, yeah, party. That's the problem we have a lot of people back home.
Yes.
So as big as Africa is, as the land big finish, you know, do them to party. They went to party in the river. And everybody jumped in without lifeboat. They say fly. They say fly when they hear word. They follow dead body, enter grave.
Not be lie.
These people don't listen. This is not the first. This is not the second. This is not the third. And this is not going to be the last time this is going to happen.
But okay, my thing is this: accidents happen. We have road accidents, plane accidents. This happens to be.
I'd rather have road accident than accidents in the river.
No, but if you can swim, then you can. You
Even
live.
if you can swim, sometimes.
Even
my point.
No, even if you can swim, they're partying, so you know they're already intoxicated.
Yeah,
even if you can
that's
swim,
the
how much can you really do?
Yeah,
when
drunk
you're drunk, your alcohol already makes you feel heavy. Get that in mind. So when you're in the water, it's double the effect. That's why I tell you don't drink again
But I
into the
want to
water.
know what happened. Is it because somebody was?
Okay,
What happened? Is it because it was overcrowded? Then that's the news. Then
It's a combination of things. Okay, number one, the vessel is a rickety vessel, is old and shouldn't even be in the water. Number two, there are damages on the vessel that they actually welded to repair. Number three, they have no license, nothing of that nature. And even when the incident was about, when they noticed that water was getting into the vessel, they were trying to call out, but even the calling machines have not they work.
Hey!
Then number four, it was overcrowded. So all of that put together, and mind you, these things, the vessel sunk close to the shore. Very close to the shore. As a matter of fact, one of the people that came to rescue them was that he actually got drowned by one of the people who was trying to rescue, because the guy held on to him, trying not to go in, but he dragged the guy that came to rescue him down with him, and the guy died.
Listen, I'm not surprised that they don't have the right license to run this boat or this cruise. You know, a lot of people in Africa don't have the right licenses either. Our presidents, most of our leaders don't. So I'm not going to fault them for it. But the overcrowding thing is really a big issue. They overload everything. The buses, the boats, planes. If you give somebody small money, oh yeah, come on, no problem, come on.
Yes.
By the time you realize, and you know our Nigerian women, most of you guys are heavy.
This is Uganda. This is Uganda. This is Uganda. Do not come for us. We don't even have Uganda. Stay in lane. Stay in your lane.
Listen, even in the elevators, when you go in the elevator, they have limits, okay? They have limits. It's all over. Look at the limit. If the limit says over 1,000 pounds, this is going down. Start weighing people before they enter into the boat.
But joke apart, what Charlie is trying to stress on is the fact of health and safety.
Yeah, of course.
Africans are very nonchalant to health and safety precautions.
nonchalant.
One of my very good friend, Rick Hassani, is a Nigerian artist. He just went to Mauritius and he had a sold-out show on a 2,000 capacity venue, and he was proud online saying that it's a 2,000 capacity, but 2,700 people were there. Oh, Mauritius showed me love. Yes, they showed you love, but if there was a fire outbreak, you know how many people would have died in that place? Africans have to focus on health and safety. If the capacity is 5, don't make it 7. Don't collect bribe. 5 is 5. Oga bouncer. You will not die because the bouncer now maybe he has died too now because of extra bribe.
Boats died. A lot of people died.
But you know, I was going to say something too, is that if you are going to go on a boat party, please make sure that you know how to swim.
My dear.
No. You have to know how to swim. You have to know how to swim. Let me tell you something. That's a problem. Let me just finish let me land. A lot of people, like some people do not know how to swim. So they're scared of the water, like this one. You're scared of water. You are scared of water. That's why you are saying no.
I'm from the water.
Can you
How
swim? swim?
that.
Can you swim?
So if we go on a plane, we have
Thank
to learn
you.
how to fly.
No, but it's not
You have to
that.
learn- I don't
No, but I'm
understand
just
where did you get that
saying.
principle from?
But this is mine. I think that if you're going to do certain things, you have to think about safety. Like with flying, they do have the safety vest and everything there, right? If you're going to think, but if you're going to go on a boat, what that trip, make sure you also, when you're going on a trip, make sure you're kind of paying attention.
Yes.
You got to pay attention to
Yes.
things that are unsafe.
That's what
If something is oily, maybe I don't go get on out. If it's too rusty, because there's been times when one time this KK Marwa come and I was like, if I get on this, something might happen. I'm not going to get on
Something
it.
will definitely
Something
happen.
will
The thing is, we cannot live. The thing is, we cannot live our lives so paranoid like that.
I don't
so
know.
if I'm going on a boat, I can't be stressed out because the reason why I'm probably going on that boat is to release,
Enjoy,
is
have
to
fun.
it's to decompress and all of that. So I think that the thing is, we trust these leaders, we trust the captain, we trust the pilots, we trust them that everything that
Is on point.
is on point.
No.
You know what I mean? So they have to make sure that the exit signs are there. They probably didn't know where the exit sign was.
Yep.
So commotion is happening, everybody's moving left and right. So our leaders and those people
Let
have
me
to.
tell you, I got into one downfall one day, and where I sat down, I
did
keep
get on
telling you, I'm a
downfall?
local girl. Going into downfall, I just noticed
Please,
that
what is down for? Because I don't
it's the
understand.
yellow buses in Lagos.
Trotro.
Who doesn't know that?
Now,
I
I
don't-
got in the downfall.
Trotro.
What's
Do I live in
Trotro?
Trotro is
Nigeria with
downfall.
y'all?
Trotro is
Go
downfall.
ahead.
I was in the downfall and I realized that we were going, something wet was touching my leg. I'm like, what is this? When I looked down, do you know that under me, where my leg was open?
Oh!
Yes, as we were
wait,
driving,
wait.
Your leg was dragging.
yes, so like pretty much, no, it
Like
wasn't dragging.
Flintstones.
You guys said
It
open
was
top, right? This is
rusted.
open down.
Open bottom. It was open bottom. It was like, so the poto, the mud from the road was splashing on my leg. I'm like, what? When I noticed, I just said, driver, please hold on. The guy said, I said, Oti, over, my bus stop. I reached my bus stop.
Yeah.
I came down because you would just hear he was going to Porto, papa, and next to my seats will come out from the bus and they will crush me.
Yeah.
God forbid bad things. So, in other words, when you get on vessels like this and you see the rustiness of the vessel, you see that some things that will tell your body will tell you something is wrong. Your
Not
instinct will be telling you this ain't right. Listen to your instinct and get off.
That's
because
it.
you never know what the story might turn out to be. Me, I don't go on any cruise ship. Anybody that knows me will know. If you see me and water, I don't play with it. I don't go on cruise ship. I don't go on any boat cruise. I don't care what kind of fun
That's a
you're
shame,
having.
oh. There's
some
I
fine
will not go
boys
there.
on boat cruise.
You know why? I don't know how to swim. And I cannot come and go and die for something I can control. So no. I'm good.
I think
But
one of
it's
the most
rare.
important things is also safe, because a lot of boats, like when you
Absolutely.
get on, they tell you where all the exits are. They tell you where the life jackets are before the boat kind of starts. And I don't think they're doing that in some African countries.
So
Let's
they
be
need
real
to tell them.
clear. And literally, you have to talk about where are the exits, and also don't get panicked when something happens. That's what kind of hastens your death, because you get panicked, you get scared, like that
Yeah.
guy. Pull that guy down into the water. You have to really just breathe and think. And if you're getting on something, just make sure you know. Because when I'm getting on a plane, I'm making sure and everything. And when you're on a plane, make sure you put your oxygen mask on for you first. Anybody else don't matter.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next topic. Glitz, what's going on with Roy Emmanuel and Wizkid?
Yes, we're back in Nigeria. So Roy Emmanuel, Wizkid's bouncer, gets macheted at Club DNA. Horrible. So he was at Club DNA. He's enjoying himself. And then he got into altercation with another bouncer, MC, and supposedly the owner of the club was there within the argument they were having. They were arguing regarding Wizkid's debt of 15 million naira. Because for two events, one for 8 million, one for 7 million, Wizkid did not pay for his bottle service. So that's about $45,000, right? Am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the boss said to him, how can he afford to buy a Lamborghini if he can't pay his debt, his $15 million drink? And the bouncer said when he comes here, he will settle you. He will be back in Nigeria. He'll settle you. And he leaves and then comes back. And when he comes back, the bouncer, MC, uses a machete. They were fighting, and he used the machete to attack him. Like the cut was it was huge. He could have died, basically. But he was able to still maintain himself. They took him to a private hospital. And Wizkid then dropped a tweet saying that, run. He said, run, we go kill you. You know what I'm saying? So Wizkid has threatened the person that attacked his
threat?
bouncer, Roy Emmanuel.
That's a threat.
That's a threat. But the thing about it is then the club then backtracks and says, oh, his death is separate from this. It was them having their own personal beef, because they're trying to remove themselves from the whole situation. Oh, the police are looking into it, and they're trying to find out what's going on. So if it wasn't anything to you, why is this bouncer on the run?
Right.
Was he doing something for you? Because now he's in hiding and they can't find the guy. All of a sudden they can't
Who's on
find
the run? Which of the
the
bouncers?
MC. Not Ron is in the hospital.
Roy's in the hospital.
Roy's in the hospital, but the
other
bouncer
is on the run.
Bouncer MC is on the run from this whole thing. So the thing about it is that why?
So in
What
a
do you
way,
guys
are you
think?
saying that the fight started
Yes.
because Wizkid couldn't pay?
Wizkid has not settled his 15 million naira debt.
So what kind
at
of money
Club
does
DNA.
Wizkid have? What kind of money does he have that he doesn't pay for things? I don't understand. You don't pay child support. You don't pay for bottles. What kind of money do you have that you don't pay for things?
But you know, some stars come into a club and think they should not have to pay for bottles. Because I'm a star, I'm making your club pop. Why am I not getting my bottles for free?
Yes.
I don't know what kind of deal they
But
have.
was that agreement made
No,
before he went in the
agreement was made
club?
for him to
You know,
pay.
this is what happens when you think you are the shit. You walk in thinking you're not going to pay for certain things. What do you have to say,
What
sis?
kind of drink are you drinking that is 15 million naira?
But
What are you
it's
drinking? You're
expensive in
drinking
the
a
club,
whole
though.
house. What is that? What are you drinking?
No, that's
Excuse me.
nothing. That's
You know how much
nothing.
water is in the club?
And then
The soda for $6,
She does not even
Hold
go
on,
on
let
the
me
boat
land.
cruise, so leave her alone. She
don't
won't
shake me.
understand.
Don't shake me. I don't want to die quick. Don't shake me. Please, listen. You drink 15 million naira worth of drinks. And then you think it's okay to just put that debt on a club owner and go because you're a star. How? Why do you feel entitled?
a lot of
What
people
makes
that
you
do
think
that.
you have that right?
Because he's Wizkid and he's...
So
he-
pay because now because
Listen,
of
this
you,
is
because
why-
you're whiskey, somebody's almost died.
But
Almost,
do you
that
have
guy
your
almost
facts?
died.
This is why whenever I get
Madam.
something,
Tell me
no
what-
matter
the
what,
club
I'm on the
owner said it
ABS
himself
show.
now.
People see me all the time. They
Papa.
give me things. I'm on the ABS show. Thanks, by the way, I ask them, is this free?
There we
Are
go.
you sure?
You have to check who.
There's
Yes,
no,
sir.
you don't need anything back, right?
Because tomorrow,
Be-
evidence, they
you're
will
gonna
change
be
them
like,
for
oh,
you.
you
You attack your bouncer, right?
So
Johnny?
make sure-
We don't want to attack your bouncer.
Telling you. I beg.
No, but somebody's life is at stake here.
Yes, no.
He's in the hospital fighting for his life.
Horrible.
Butchered with machetes.
That's
Why
horrible.
are
One
we...
of the things got this close to his face. They could have
brain.
broken through to his brain and he will hemorrhage and die. Now is this because of loyalty? That's another question too. That guy's loyalty is strong. Wizkid.
I need a bouncer like that.
That's a real one, man, because that not go happen for where we do.
You go run.
Yeah.
So this thing
Hey,
happened this
fight, man,
past.
they fight
This thing
me.
happened this past
Yeah,
week.
this past
Why
week.
are the police not on this? Everybody needs to be called
Arrested.
in,
They're
arrested.
busy catching the gay men.
Not
the
arrested,
gay
that's
men.
not-
Attempted murder. No, that's an attempted murder.
Not
No.
even something happened at the club.
It's
The club
attempted
needs to be
murder.
shut down
Yeah.
for now. Investigate.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
look around the cameras. Were there any cameras in the club?
I bet
Let's
you they
start
all
looking
weren't
into
working.
that. Please, police people.
Hey.
Please, our life is it's very serious to us. If it's not serious to y'all, it's very serious to us. They all need to be called in or arrested.
Yes,
Arrest the poor
everybody.
people and call in the rich people.
Exactly. And I've been to
Is
club.
that
And I happen to.
That's what happens in Africa
Charlie,
now.
I've been to Club DNA and it's
Yeah.
really expensive in there. Because I was like, can I buy one drink? Can I get a margarita? They said we don't buy. You can't buy a single drink. You have to buy a bottle. I was like, I have to buy a bottle.
That
But I looked,
explains why.
So it's just like that bottle popping
Greediness.
culture. It
No, it's
also
not greed,
feeds.
it's their own policy
But,
there.
even in America,
If you
where
can't buy
bottle.
bottle, don't come.
But even in
They're not
America,
forcing you.
man, even in America,
come.
where we have bottle, but you could buy yourself your own cocktail.
Madam, don't
No,
even
but
know
that's
that there's drink
discrimination.
that
That's
can
When
cost
you have a
50 million
business,
naira.
you open it to everybody.
Everybody.
What kind of drink are you
Okay.
drinking that is 15 million?
How many people can everybody afford Balenciaga?
No, I can.
Balenciaga is not for everybody.
All right, but I can
Likewise,
come in,
Christian
though. I can come
Louboutin.
in.
It's
I
not
can
for
come-
everybody.
But I can still come in the store.
She came in.
I can
They
look
only
at the
told
Christian Louboutin now.
madam, we don't sell glasses.
You
Get out
too.
of
You
here.
don't have money. What
Get
are you
out
doing
of
there?
here.
No. But let me say, I'm not going to tell on the boy. I thought that the guy that I asked for the thing, he said, okay, but I'll go to the bottle popper section and give you shots.
See,
So he
now he like
told
you.
me the shots. He was selling me to 2,000.
Oh, he was selling it to you.
2,000 naira. He sold shots
That
to
one
me
is for his
on the
own
side.
pockets.
I know,
And
right?
that's what he said.
I know.
But I think that the DNA management is trying to backtrack because they don't want it to fall on them. But clearly there was a problem. There's an issue with Wizkid not paying this bill, and I just want to understand why Wizkid. It's $45,000, right? He made 160 something thousand at
Yes,
that
at the
Bollywood
wedding.
wedding. He just
No,
had
30 minutes.
600,000, and he cannot pay $45,000.
No, you can't just judge. You can't just base on that
But
fact.
we are.
promoting, Manny, it's
But we
really
are.
you got to be
You
good.
are
Why not?
All right,
So
so
now,
why
don't you pay your debts?
I don't have any debts
Wait,
right now.
exactly. Where you
I
go
don't have
to?
any debts right now.
I've been out to
Everything is
yes.
alleged.
Hold on.
Alleged.
Yes, go ahead.
Alleged. Yes, everything is alleged.
But then when the
right?
bouncer say you go pay him back if it's alleged.
Listen, we all know, like you said most artists always feel entitled when they go to clubs and they feel like they're making a place pop for you and they shouldn't pay for drinks. You don't know what agreements they had. You don't know what conversations. People change. Just like Charlie said, Charlie will always ask, is this free? Perhaps whiskey, because whiskey is around and is in your VIP session, they'll be sending bottles even without him asking. They do that a lot.
Yes, they do.
They'll be sending. They'll be using what they call it, caskets. They will shut the music just to make noise that whiskey is there. At the end of the day, they'll not bring the bill. Now they're mad.
Yeah.
Did he ask for it? He didn't ask for it.
He was drinking it.
He didn't drink all of it. Funny enough, it's possible he didn't even drink one. It's the crowd around him that drank everything.
We know whiskey
so you
doesn't
can't
drink
put the
that
blame
much.
on him.
But why did you say we can't judge? Because she was saying that Whiskey made a whole lot of money from performing,
600,000
but
more.
he can't pay. You said we can't judge on that. Why not?
Because you don't know if he really was aware that he had to pay for that drink.
Okay.
Because they keep sending the drinks
Okay,
as if
so how about his PR, his public relations guy, and his money guy handle all these things? Instead of all this baby mama drama,
What
drinks
concern
here,
baby mama with
owing money
alcohol
here.
now? You
Now
should
it's
leave.
not the same money matter.
How they two
It's the
can
same money
relate.
issue. So he should have these people jump on it as opposed to his image being tarnished everywhere you go.
But
Because now we're looking at
do we
as
know the
a
bouncer
Paradise hand because you have all this money
MC
coming
bouncer.
in. You're not spending. You're not seeing the money outside. They'll be telling you pay child support, tickets here, drink here. Guy, handle your business, please. It's time to get
I'm
old.
really tired of you
People
not
are
paying for
forgetting
stuff.
this is showbiz,
But
though.
I have a
Yes.
do we know the MC bouncer's face or anything like that?
I was a DNA. I know.
Oh, you know him?
I know who the MC
I bet
is,
go
but
and
I
sit
don't know
down
if
in
it's
that
the same
side,
MC. There's one main
Because-
MC in that place. I'm not gonna mention his name, but I know who the MC is for Club DNA because I was there, and he handed me the mic and I got on the mic and stuff. So I don't know if it's the same guy.
Okay.
And I hope it's not because he's a really cool guy. But I hope it's not him that got into that.
Because the reason why I was
altercation.
asking is that if we know him, we'll
name has not been
help
dropped
out
yet.
and put his picture there since he's on the run.
Okay.
ABS
No,
show.
don't put me in that, Joe. You didn't want me to get machete. Charlie, hey! Charlie, you are wicked.
Now you're
You
friend
are
now. You guys are sharing mics
So you don't want us to help him. The person is on the run. I'm trying to help. This is media. So the police people can know. Say you guys are saying no. They are saying no.
No, we didn't say no. I don't know
Now
who.
they
They
share mic
say
together.
MC Bouncer. He
They share
wasn't
mic.
bouncing, so maybe it's somebody different.
Viewers, if you know MC Bouncer, drop the picture.
Yes.
You know.
Please, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna move. Drop the link. We're gonna move on to the next topic. Timani, what's going on in
Yes,
Ghana?
this time around we are going to Ghana. And this is very annoying. I hope you guys brought your energy because we're about to put
We are
somebody
ready.
Right now.
on the table.
We have fire to roast. Go
Ghanaian
ahead.
comedian known as comedian Waris this, that's what I call him. He received a very huge backlash recently for making a very derogatory statement about Sarkodie's daughter.
What did he say?
Sarkodie posted a beautiful picture of himself and his daughter, and comedian Waris tweeted saying, Sarkodie's daughter is becoming ripe. Very soon, we people will tear and eat. And then he
Disgusting.
put laugh out loud.
Disgusting.
People got mad, trust me. Charlie got
So-
mad, Literati got mad, Timani got mad. Are you mad?
What?
Is he mad?
He's mad.
Great
It's 5
answer.
How old is she? 5 years old or what did you call her?
5-year-old
5 years,
baby.
Baby.
You see, when I tell you that pedophilia is a thing,
It's real.
People
this
have
man in broad daylight on Twitter went there and
You are
talked
mad.
about
Somebody's daughter.
a 5-year-old girl being ripe and getting ready to be torn apart and eaten. Are you mad?
And he laughed
Walrus
about it.
or whatever you call his name. How dare you?
What kind of dry humor is that? So, actually, there were people that got mad. There was a lady on Instagram called Kafui Danku. She was upset, so she wrote a long note about it, which we're not going to read because I don't know how
she's
to
a
read.
media person.
So she said that why is Sarkodie not saying anything about it? Because Sarkodie actually didn't say anything about it. But I feel like at the level he is right now, he's at that level where even the fans' voices are big enough. Because nobody found it funny. Not even one person found
that's
it
not
funny.
funny, no.
So Oga, stupid,
Sarkodie
why
is
is
arranging
this?
some people to beat him at his next comedy
You
show.
don't even
They
need to
go
say they
roll
will
up
find his
out.
house out.
They
So
will kind
Oga,
of beat
Oga
that
Why is
nonsense.
this actually dropped a 30-second apology video. And to him, that is enough. So I just want us to see the video because I need the viewers to also see what he said.
Let me leave my daughter away from him.
First of all, I'm deeply sorry for the tweet I made concerning Sarkodie's daughter. I am not a pedophile and then I don't encourage it. I'm very sorry for exposing the child to it and then I'll do anything possible to fight against it. I'm a human. I am not perfect. I made a mistake. The tweet wasn't meant to actually cause that kind of harm, but it's rather unfortunate the joke went bad.
Just finish him there. Just finish finish him.
Nah, you pedophile.
I was like, wait a minute, finish him.
So that was
Thought
the
that was a
apology.
gunshot.
He
Yeah.
even looked like somebody that they beat to actually do this apology.
Yeah.
So what
So
do you
I saw this on Filmbugs, Instagram. Listen, there's two things to this. I am a true supporter of freedom of speech. I support freedom of speech. I think even the hideous statements sometimes or the hideous speech needs to be protected. With that being said, you have to face the consequences as well. You can say whatever you want, all right? But whatever you say has consequences. And by their words, you shall know them. This man is disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. But then again, I'm not surprised. The African,
really?
yes, the pedophilia culture exists in Africa a lot.
Very
They
true.
see these young girls going to school in and out, and they are watching them.
yeah.
You know,
They're getting
you
ready.
always have that one neighbor, that one creepy neighbor that's always staring at your daughter
calling
or
my
your
wife.
little sister.
My
And-
small wife.
My
Yeah.
small wife.
Your small, yes, they call this little dog
Disgusting.
Yes.
my small wife, my small girlfriend. It's disgusting, and a new day has come. We are not tolerating this bullshit anymore.
That's
right.
Absolutely.
Anymore.
Not on
You
our
should be
watch.
ashamed of yourself. You and your dry ass skin and lips and messed up
uneven
hairline,
teeth. Yes.
uneven teeth. Go get. Listen. When I saw it, I was shaking. I was like, why is Sarkodie not saying anything right now? But I heard he apologized and Sarkodie forgave him. We are not going to forgive you, sir.
Forgave him.
And I need the neighbors of this guy to watch him very carefully.
That's
Yes.
right.
Police people, security, watch him. Do not leave this man alone with a little girl or boy.
Or a cat, or a dog, or a rat, or chicken.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It's not to be trusted.
Yes.
What's very disturbing is that you can hypersexualize somebody that's that young. And this is a problem. I don't know what kind of sickness, what kind of mental illness, what kind of special place in hell that I hope you are going to, that you would think that it's correct to open your mouth and put your face together and say you are going to unripen a fruit that is that young.
5-year-old
Are you mad? You're mad. I am so disgusted by these people. That's the one crime that I say directly to death. I'm sorry. You touch my child, please make sure you kill me there because I will kill you.
That's
There's no
right.
need for court. There's no need for police.
That's
We
right.
go attack you on site.
And
Yes.
please,
That's
the
it.
promoters in Ghana, I know it's December, and we're gonna have shows and stuff. Do not book this man.
Boycott him.
Yeah.
Book
Boycott
this
him.
man.
Yeah.
Support,
Rubbish.
yeah, I got your
Absolutely.
back.
Yes.
You can forgive him all you want, but I'm not gonna forgive this guy.
Disgusting.
No reward for bad behavior.
What?
These guys should not see the light of day.
At
No
all.
gig, no paid gig, nothing.
None.
No matter the apology, because this is disgusting.
I have a niece, and I dare somebody to make that statement about my niece, talking about ripe. Have you ever eaten an unripe fruits? Your stomach will hurt, and you're gonna
Yes.
die. How about that?
And the fact that
I'm so angry
the
about
fact that
this.
you were able to type that.
Yes.
Because it takes you when I'm
Exactly.
getting ready to do a status
You have to
update,
check it
you are
again
checking
and
it, you are
again
looking
and
at
again
it,
Yes.
so you are
Post it.
okay
Yes,
to
now.
press send.
You wrote it, you put your comma. You wrote, you put it in capital letter.
And you put
comma
smiley
again.
face.
You put smiley face. You
And
went
you-
back again, you edited. You said, no, not correct. You,
And
then you
pause,
posted
it.
it.
It
Let me
probably
not
took
catch
a long time for it to upload because the internet is not even that great.
Yeah, and you're like,
it probably took a while for
yes.
you to
So
upload.
kill them, hey.
Error,
And then
you
he
press it
said,
again.
and then he said, very soon we people will tear and eat.
So what? The
so
people say
yes,
again.
Here's a
Yes.
pedophile gang. Here's a gang.
Yes.
There's a gang of them.
Yes.
And they are like that. They do work together
Yes.
to attack little girls. So I'm really, really, really wondering, even his apology didn't seem genuine to me.
It is not.
Seemed a little bit like, oh, they're making me do this. My career or my Christmas money is going. So now I'm going to apologize. What
right.
I'm going to say for you that you need help. Go and talk to a doctor about your problem because
Yes.
there's something else going on.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't just be spitting out any nonsense that comes into your brain
Kai.
at this stage of
My
your
gears,
life.
man.
Social media days. Some people can say things and get away with it, and the only time you catch them is when somebody
And,
record it.
and sometimes most of those
I'm
people
hot
are
right now.
comedians, and that's the thing. Comedians say the
No,
most final
honest
things.
things.
Yeah.
And yes, they do, and they think it's funny. Listen, jokes are supposed to make us laugh, and we are not laughing.
Do I
Yeah.
I'm laughing?
Yes.
There's nothing
and,
funny
and
about
the
this.
ratio of this pedophilia thing is too much. And it's like, I'm glad that we have social media now to show us some of these freaks,
right.
but there's a lot of freaks out there. So make sure that you, like I said, I always say this, remember to find out the places where you can get help or tell somebody, even if they're scaring you, because people like this will continue to what is it? To harvest fruits
But can
that
I
they
ask you
shouldn't
guys
be
a question
harvesting.
though? Because reading his statement,
Yes.
he says Sarkodie's daughter is becoming ripe. Very soon, we will tear and eat. What is the difference between what he said and what some of these men are doing in Africa, where they go to your parents, pay bribes, they pay money,
Disgusting too.
and wait until you finish school? Like, and then they marry you.
It's just as disgusting
What
to
is
me.
the is the
That-
difference?
The
See,
difference
is
is that the parents of that family accepted you.
Betrothed?
You're
at
betrothed
that
to
young
them.
or whatever?
You're betrothed to them, but they
too
can't even
young.
release you until you are of age.
okay.
But this one is social. This is pedophilic joke, whether we like it or not. It's a
I think
pedophilic
either
joke.
or. I think both of them are, because if a man that is beyond is 30 or 40 years and he's betrothed to somebody who's 5 years old or
years.
10,
But
I
they're
say
waiting,
when she
though. But they're
graduates
waiting.
till she's 15. She graduates at 15. No, I'm sorry. We have to stop this culture. That
That's
means
right.
the betrothing thing. That means the collecting money. I know it's sweet money, but you have to think about your child and their life, because after that you are ruining these young women and these, like, you are ruining the children.
Yep.
Like, how is this? And that's why the behavior is repeated. Because if somebody's abused, they're more than likely going to abuse somebody
again.
else.
Yes.
Because it's repeated behavior. You learn your behavior and you repeat it because you think it's right.
This is where I say that a lot of this culture and traditional values that we have needs to be amendment. They need to start having amendments for cultures and traditions, because a lot of them are archaic, a lot of them are outdated, a lot of them don't fly in this current this
Day
present
and age.
century. It doesn't work. You cannot right now talk about you want to marry a 12-year-old girl out to an old man, which happens rampantly in the northern part of Nigeria. They would marry a 12-year-old girl, she'll become a child bride. It's still ongoing. All these things should be abolished. They are working on it. I think they've passed a couple of laws, but it's still in effect.
My
it's still like
people,
in
it's
the workings.
it's
I'm
the
not gonna tell
holiday
you, the
season.
culture is
You guys-
there already.
I was gonna
The
say that-
pedophilia culture
I don't
is
want to
in
tell you guys
Africa.
that when I was growing, my father is from Niger, right? They brought this person to look at me to marry me up to somebody in Niger.
my God.
Like I go that desert to go and marry somebody.
if I don't
Can
born
you
like 10
imagine?
by now.
I was about 6 years old. I was maybe
My
I
God.
was 6. No. I was like 4. Young. Like, cause the lady came and both of them came with their hajibi. They were full Niger women looking at me. I'm like, are they serious? They go think they go. No, I didn't think of that because I didn't. But my mother was like, you couldn't be you kidding me, right? That you think you're gonna marry off my daughter at this time, and you can't imagine that happens. And it's like Arabic, because I know Muslims, don't be mad at me, but Prophet Muhammad married Aisha, his second wife. Was she 9 or 6, 8? So can you imagine that Prophet Muhammad, the Alpha and Omega of Islam, married a child too? So that's disturbing to me. And so that's why they think it's okay to do these things.
No, but if it happened then, doesn't mean that it's okay for you to start doing it now. Now you know better. Now you're more enlightened. Now you know that it's not okay. It's not okay for a child who is 8 years old to have VVF. It is not right for a child to have to worry about her private part hurting. It's not right for me to want to go out and worry about what my child is doing or who she's surrounded by, because there are a lot of sick people out there. You know better now. So you don't, because things were bad, things were done differently before, doesn't mean it's okay for you to still do those things now. They were eating people before. People are not eating people now because it's not right.
Speaking about sick people, it's the holiday season. They're going to be flying in and out of the countries. Parents, please look after your kids.
Please. Check
your little
them.
ones, the daughters, the sons. We want everybody to be safe,
Please.
okay? We love you guys for watching. Comment below. We want to know your thoughts on these topics. Until next time, you're watching the ABS show. This is Mina TV. Bye.
Thanks for watching. And if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.